This is the project I started in 2023, and it was rather ambitious. I sold my 15 millimeter collection of Jacobites, and hard to part with, but I really wanted to do this in the 25 millimeter scale from Old Glory. So every figure on the table is an Old Glory figure. And over the last year plus, I have built up the forces, and so it's quite formidable at this point. Had some great battles with these and have just enjoyed them immensely. There's close to 1,400 figures on the table, and they break down. There are 434 Jacobites, and that's Highlanders and Lowlanders. The French contingent has 5 battalions and 2 batteries, and they make up 112 figures. And then their cavalry is here with the Jacobite cavalry. And so there's 36 cavalry figures all told in the Jacobite army. They also have 5 batteries, 4 of cannon and 1 of howitzers, and the French have 2 batteries. And this is some Lowlanders. There's command stands for everybody and lots of casualty figures. I believe every regiment has at least 2 casualty figures, so that as the attrition accumulates, they can be added to the table. Adds a lot of character and flavor, I think, to the game. On the government side, there are 480 government line battalion, government infantry. There's 17 line battalions and then 5 militia battalions. And most of them are 24 figures. There's a few that are at 20. The cavalry, there are 48 cavalry mounted, 4 regiments of 12 each, and then I painted up dismounted dragoons for each of the regiments. So there's 8, so they can dismount and have 8 figures with their muskets. There are 4 brigades of line infantry, 3 of 4 battalions, and then this is Mordaunt's, and he has 5. And then the Dutch, I have 4 battalions of Dutch. They're reserved. I don't have any cannons with them or any cavalry, but they do have their officer there. It turned out really nicely. And the British have 4 guns, and then they have some mortars as well in their army. So as I said, there's the general officer with his 2 aides de camp. There's limbers, so I think there's 10 limbers or 11 limbers all told. And then I've got a couple of wagons here. The buildings these are hovels. I have 2 more hovels that aren't on the table. I had some extra limbers, so I turned them into powder wagons. There's a Dutch regiment there. This is the Derbyshire Blues. They're one of the militia battalions, and then some Lowlanders here that are fighting in the government service. Some Lowlanders being charged by some Highlanders here. You can see that casualties were inflicted as they came in. There's one of the Jacobite officers. I think these are the MacDonald clans. And then the French again from behind. stone walls are handmade, scratch built, but I think they turned out pretty well. And so this has been a really fun project. The only thing I think I could want to add at this point would be maybe some Prussians or Hessians that would come in and once the Dutch fought early on in the conflict, and then some German allies came on later. But that's the only thing I can think of that I might want to add to it. And so my goal for 2025 is just to enjoy them, to actually play some games, get some friends over as much as I can, and get involved in actually gaming, along with my commission painting. That takes up the majority of my hobby time. So anyway, it's been a great project, and just wanted to wrap up my year with kind of an overview of the whole thing. Really appreciate those of you that have left comments, and hope you've enjoyed these posts. I really enjoyed putting them together. So here's wishing you a great 2025, and we'll see you next time. Happy New Year.